It'll just take me a minute to make some coffee.
It was a nice funeral, wasn't it? Nice and neat and well organized.
Darling, please don't.
Don't mourn my sister's death too much.
Let go.
You don't understand.
Maybe I don't, but I see what it's doing to you. I understand that.
It was a hypocritical charade, that's what it was. A few acquaintances and friends, and off to one side, the immediate family. That is, the deceased mother, Hannah Cord, and me, the long-lost brother of the deceased. Although few of us knew about it. You and my mother and that friend of the family, Martin Peyton. He even sent flowers.
Stephen, it's over. Your sister's gone.
You saw my mother's face, didn't you? I wasn't imagining what I saw, was I? No, I wasn't imagining it. Ann Howard was a gentle, kind young woman, the minister said. And my mother, Ann's mother, stared that same cold, frozen stare I've known a lifetime. People who hardly even knew her were moved by the minister's words. And I was trying somehow to say, goodbye, Ann. Forgive me, Ann. But my dear mother didn't hear a thing or think a thing or feel a thing about her dead daughter. Nothing penetrates, nothing moves that woman.
Stephen, you know your mother. She isn't a woman to let go of her feelings. Maybe she was afraid to.
Afraid? My dear mother wasn't afraid to ignore Ann from the day she was born. She wasn't afraid to crush Ann's feelings when Ann went begging for her love. No, not even love, just recognition. No, my mother wasn't afraid. She was incapable of feeling anything for her daughter, anything at all.
Stephen, put it out of your mind.
Not until I find out what my mother did to Ann, what she drove her to do.
What are you saying?
You were sitting right here when Rodney told us that he saw Ann leaving the Peyton house. He said both Ann and my mother were very upset. Now, that was just a few hours before Ann died. No, I'm not saying that my mother pushed her daughter off the bluff. She never hit me when I was young. There are better ways to crush and goad and destroy.
Stephen.
To make a person not want to live anymore.
Darling, you're tearing yourself apart for what?
Especially if that person is gentle and vulnerable. And not too stable.
Stephen, you can't let this feeling take over your life. Our lives.
I can't help it. I can't stop thinking about it. And I won't. Not until I force my mother to tell me the truth.
I should like to have known, Anne.
That's a touching and safe thing to say, now that it's too late.
Maybe I should have talked to her. Maybe when you talked to her, you pushed her too far.
I didn't see any tears in your eyes at the funeral.
One can feel pity for the girl. She could have meant a lot to me. She was a victim of circumstances. Our circumstances.
And so you salved your conscience, paid your respects, made a public spectacle of your moral support. All very admirable.
Your conduct was far from admirable.
Why? Because I couldn't give a performance. I told you I did not want to go to that funeral. I told you I could not pretend to be bereaved.
What are you trying to tell me, Hannah? That you can't be the hypocrite? That you can't pretend?
You think because you sent flowers, because you attended Anne's funeral, that somehow wipes away your guilt? Somehow makes you a human being?
You've lost him. You've lost your beloved Stephen.
He'll come back to me.
It was Stephen who saw to it that Anne was buried beside their father's grave. Doesn't that mean anything to you?
It means that neither of them can interfere with my relationship to Stephen anymore.
Look at reality, Hannah. Even before the funeral, your relationship with Stephen hung by one slender thread. This morning, by the graveside, He never took his eyes off you. He watched you. He waited for you to show some signs of feeling for your dead daughter, his dead sister. But you made it quite clear that you were far from grief-stricken by Anne's death. Worse than that, you revealed your indifference.
You think that if Anne hadn't come here that afternoon, if she and I hadn't quarreled, she'd still be alive today, don't you? Well, you won't torment me with that button, Peyton, because it isn't true. It is not true.
Stephen's the one you'll have to convince. And you'll never convince him.
I'll convince him. I'll make him believe me. I'll never lose Stephen.
Hello, Sandy. Where's Chris?
He'll be right back.
You told me on the phone he wanted to see me right away.
Well, he just went to get some cigarettes. Come on in. Sit down.
Thank you.
It must have been a terrible experience. I mean, you're the one who found her.
Yes.
It must be awful. I've never seen anyone dead. I'm sorry. Did I upset you? Would you like a cup of coffee?
No, thank you.
Well, he'll be right back. It takes him a little longer to get from here to the corner. Want a cool drink?
No, thank you.
The last time someone was killed, it was your boyfriend Rod who was in trouble. And everybody was feeling sorry for Joe Chernak. Everyone who didn't know Joe. Personally, I was always in Rod's corner.
Sandy, I came here because you said Chris wanted to talk to me.
You mad because I was talking about your boyfriend? I mean your ex-boyfriend. You and he were a thing for a long time. What happened?
Did Chris want to talk to me, or do you?
Me? Well, why would I want to talk to you?
Chris isn't coming.
Hey! What's the matter? You scared? I mean, you're always running. I get the feeling that every time someone brings up a certain subject, you take to the hills.
What are you talking about?
The trouble you have with boys. Like Rodney, and then Chris. With most girls, one thing leads to another. You get married or something. But with you, nothing. How come?
I'm not interested in your opinion of me.
I can understand where a girl would be attracted to someone like Rod. It's interesting how you let him get away. But like I said, I have it all figured out. You teased him. But Chris is a different story. He's my brother-in-law, and I don't want to see him hurt by someone like you.
I didn't tease Rodney or Chris.
Chris couldn't see your face. He only heard your lying, sweet-talking words. Sure, Chris. I'll read to you. I'll be your friend. We'll take long walks together in the moonlight.
Stop it.
I know you can't see the moonlight, but I'll tell you all about it.
Sandy, stop it.
You couldn't make it with a whole man, so you had to pick on a boy like Chris, a boy who's never had a girlfriend before. But you got to him. You know what he used to say to me? She's not like the others. When I'm with her, she makes me feel like, well, so many things I've dreamed of. She makes me forget I'm blind.
It's true. I tried not to think about it because I wanted him to forget about it.
Oh, you're clever. But you don't fool anyone. You picked him because he's blind. And you made him fall for you. And he fell.
I didn't make him fall for me.
And what did you say to make him talk? What did you do to make him turn against his own brother? How do you think he feels with his brother in jail? You put him there. You're poison, you know that? What did you say to the police? What lies did you make up?
I didn't lie. You're lying to protect Lee. You know how much he hated Ann Howard? I saw him on the beach road.
You've got to do better than that. He was here with me.
They know he wasn't here with you. I saw him on the beach road. I proved it to the police.
You proved it.
I proved it.
Preview from the continuing story of Peyton Place.
I've got you figured out, Allison. You don't have any feelings. Shall I tell you why? You can't. You're incapable of loving anyone.
I want you to defend me. I need someone who will put up a fight for me. I need a chance. A real chance to prove that I'm innocent.